This episode is different. Hello, hello. Welcome to What's Working Now. I am your host, Katie Richardson. And guess what? Today, it's me and you. That's right. I'm sharing a personal story and experience that has really been a significant part of living the life that I have today. Where am I? I'm on the beaches of Puerto Rico with my amazing husband, 4 beautiful children, living it up, living the life that the Katie of many years ago would have never imagined this would be possible. And it all starts with this question: is it possible to have it all? This is the question I want to discuss with you today. And in order to do this, I'm going to share a story that was a pivotal moment in my life, a story where I had a new thought, and that new thought not only set me free, but it set me down a path that I didn't even know was in front of me, a path that was full of excitement, adventure, really high highs, some low lows, and ultimately, I believe, has been the reason why I'm living the life that I'm living today. Is it perfect? No, but dang, I love it. It's absolutely incredible. So if you know my story, you know that as a young mother, I started a business and had no idea where that was going to lead. I had no idea where that was going to lead. But I started this business because I couldn't stand the idea of not exploring that. What if I didn't go down that road? That scared me more. And so I started to go down this road of starting a business. I didn't know where it would go. I didn't know where it would lead. I didn't even know how to do that and the other things that I had chosen to do. And something that you need to know about me is I really value my role as a parent. I really value my role as a daughter of God and a woman of faith. I really value my role as a wife and my relationship with my husband. These are really important things to me in my life. And so building a business was something that I had just never really considered, because in my mind, well, those are not compatible. So I'm this young mom. If you have listened to the very first few episodes of this podcast, which, by the way, if you have not listened to the first 8 episodes, those are foundational to understanding me and ultimately how I view the world and why I do what I do. So if you haven't, go back and listen to those. In those early days, I was just selling to baby boutiques in Portland, Seattle, and San Francisco. But to me, like, that was big leagues. I think I was in like 25 plus stores, probably even 25 in Portland. There were a lot of boutiques back then. And I was really enjoying this because I had developed skills and abilities when I was in college as a product designer. And I had proven myself as a designer. I had won a National Furniture Awards. I had even won a scholarship from General Motors. I had been a representative of my university in order to get grants and major funding. And so I had experienced some success in college that was really fun and exciting. And honestly, like, the work that I have done as a product designer doesn't feel like work. It's just fun and play and cool and exciting and something that I could do for hours and hours and hours. So as a young mom, my kids are very rarely, but napping and sleeping. And I wanted to continue to develop this ability as a product designer. So it naturally led me to creating a business, because that was the vehicle that would allow me to create my products, get my ideas out onto the market, and help people. Like, that's another thing you need to know about me. I like helping people. I like that aha moment, that experience where, like, oh my gosh, I love creating that for people in brilliant design. And so I had made this decision that I was going to build a business while also being a present mother. And as I was doing this, business started to take off pretty quickly. And as it was growing, I started to feel like, do I have control of this thing? And is it going to grow so big that I reach this point one day and I feel like, oh gosh, this was a major mistake, and I don't have a relationship with my kids, and I don't feel connected with my spouse, and I don't feel grounded in my faith. Those questions really terrified me. And I would have moments where, I don't know, I'd get frustrated with my kids. And I would be like, can't you see that what I'm working on right now is so important and so significant. And I didn't like how I would show up that way with my kids. Or I wasn't hanging out with girlfriends because I felt like work was more important. Or I felt like church was boring and that wasn't as nearly as exciting as the trade show that I went to or the other things that I was working on. And so I found myself asking some important questions because I had a really big fear. And I remember it was like, at first that fear was just kind of in the recesses of my mind. It wasn't at the forefront of my mind. Honestly, it was mostly just this feeling, a feeling of anxiousness, a feeling of worry, a feeling of concern. And I remember just cleaning my kitchen, sweeping one day, and that fear like really popped to the surface. And it was, Katie, what if you build this incredible business and you have success with it, but it means the destruction of your marriage, or it means that you no longer have connection or a good relationship with your kids? And all of a sudden that kind of feeling of anxiousness and concern was at the surface and I could see it. And that scared me. I remember this moment really feeling terrified and really saying to myself, that's not okay. That's not okay with me. Like, I love what I'm doing. I love helping people. I love getting my ideas out in the world, but I do not love the idea of no longer being in love with the man that I'm madly in love with right now. I didn't like that idea. And I don't love the idea of not feeling connected to my kids. And so as a problem solver, I'm like, okay, well, we just need to figure this out. It's not like it's impossible, is it? And, you know, I'm looking at all of the things. And I started to ask this question, like, what's important to me? What do I want? What do I want? I want a deep and loving and connected marriage. I want to have fun with my kids and to raise them to be incredible humans. I want to really feel connected to God and feel strong in my faith, in my belief, and do the practices and things required in order to demonstrate that faith. I want to have energy and vitality. Like, I want to live life and see the world and travel and experience new things and share that with my family. I want to really push myself as a designer and have a way to get my ideas out into the world in a way where I can really share my gifts and talents with maybe somebody that I've never met. So these were some of the things that I was asking myself, you know, what do you actually want, Katie? Well, I want these things. And have you ever had these kind of conversations back and forth in your head where it's almost the devil's advocate, like, well, that's impossible. You're asking for too much. Like, you just want everything. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I want all of those things. I want it all. I want all of those things. Is it possible? I don't know. So I started to look around and I'm looking, this was like 2006, 2007. I'm looking at books that I found in the library. I'm looking through magazines, even business magazines. And I remember even looking through the magazine from the university that I graduated from, BYU. I was, I don't know, looking for people on the internet. The internet was still kind of young and Facebook didn't exist, or at least not in my world. And social media was not a thing. I think my husband used Drudge Report. That's where he usually looked at news. I was on Yahoo or MSNBC. And I'm trying to find proof. I'm looking for proof that having it all, how I've defined it. I'm looking for proof that this is possible and that I'm not going down a road that one day I'm going to really regret. Because some of those things are non-negotiable, all of them. They were all non-negotiables for me. And some of them are things that you can't necessarily come back from. They feel very final, right? Like an ended marriage. And so I was trying to figure out what's right for me, right? And as I'm looking around, I can't find a model. I can't find an example. I can't find proof that what I'm wanting is possible. And that, again, that terrifies me. That's not okay. So I'm in this battle. Like, what you want is impossible, Katie. It's not possible, because if it was possible, somebody would have accomplished it by now. Somebody would be proving that it is an option. And why are you being so needy? Why are you wanting and demanding so much? Can't you just calm down, chill out, and just be content in your life? This was part of the internal battle. So I'm looking around, looking for this model, looking for the example. I can't find it. Can't find her. Can't even find him. Not the person living the kind of life that I wanted. Again, like, other people might define success in other ways. These were the things that I wanted. I couldn't find it. And then, as I'm entertaining all of these thoughts, I'm in this wrestle, I have a new thought. And I really believe, like, it's the kind of thought that wasn't my thought. I believe that sometimes God can communicate to us through our thoughts. And my new thought was this: Katie, you've been looking for the example that having all of the things that you want is possible. And you can't find her, but that's okay. You're a designer, you know creation. While you might not see her, you can go and create her. Wow, like, that felt good. That felt amazing. I remember almost like a chill running through my body. That felt fun. That felt free. It felt exciting. My curiosity immediately wanted to know more about this woman. A woman unlike anybody I'd ever met. A woman who did things new in a different way. Do I want to be this woman? I was sure curious about her. So here's my question to you. Is it possible to have it all? All of the things that you want, the things that matter to you, that are important to you, is that possible? That's a good question. And I'm here to tell you that that depends on what you want. And it also depends on something else. Something else that, as I went through this process, I discovered. And this is what I want to ultimately share with you. As I was going through my day in my life, curious about this new kind of a woman, curious what she was like, how she thought, how she dressed, how she showed up to meetings, how she spoke to people, how she interacted with her kids, what kinds of relationship and things she did to enhance her relationship in her marriage, how she approached God, and what she did to create practices around her faith. As I asked these questions, I started to realize something. And it was that the way I had been thinking was actually going to get in the way. And I had these thoughts, beliefs, actions, habits, even relationships that were potentially incompatible with this new kind of a woman. And again, I was like, well, how do I do this? Like, is that possible? And here's my gift to you in today's conversation. All those old thoughts, old actions, old behavior, old stories, old beliefs, they're all part of an operating system. And like a computer, the operating system determines where we focus, what we schedule on our calendar, where things are coming from, the intention. It determines the output. The operating system is the core central foundation for every action, execution, thought, belief, focus, attention, emphasis, relation, all of it. An operating system is responsible for all of those things. It ultimately was responsible for how I'm showing up in life. And I started to realize, now, wait a minute. Like, instead of having to figure out what to say here and how to show up there and what were my responses to this person, what if I reprogrammed my operating system? What if I started at the core? And in a sense, by doing this, would it be possible to even kind of create some sort of machine learning OS, an operating system that knows how to navigate each and every new and interesting and exciting and even terrifying and scary situation in my business and in my life? So this is what I did. I began to reprogram myself, and I created what now is called the IPOS. This is my operating system. And this became the very thing that helped me make decisions, important decisions, critical decisions, decisions that I had to make feeling like I didn't have nearly enough information to make. This is what determined how I showed up with my kids, especially when I was kind of at the end of my patience and didn't know how to interact or respond in moments when clearly they needed me and I didn't have a whole lot. This was the operating system I used to continue to grow and develop in my relationship with God, and start asking new questions, start developing new practices, and creating new habits around my faith. This was the operating system that helped me determine what my day was going to look like, and what I was doing in the morning, what time I was waking up, what actions I was taking in the morning, what practices I was developing, what I was eating. This operating system was determining how much energy I had in the day. It was determining what opportunities I was saying yes to and what opportunities I was saying no to. It was determining my relationship with my husband. This operating system became the core central foundation to ultimately building the life that I want, the life that I dream of, the life that allows me to have a growing and successful business, and at the same time, have a deep relationship with my husband, a connected, present experience with my kids, a deep and profound relationship with God, the energy that I had dreamed of, which at the time, as a young mother with 2 kids, it felt like, yeah, I don't have that energy. What would it be like if I was an entrepreneur whose bucket of energy was spilling over every day? What would that be like? This became the game. And the core central key to having everything work was in that operating system. And now I want to share with you how you can learn this operating system. Because if you're asking yourself, okay, Katie, I'm relating to a lot of things that you're saying. I've even heard this story about creating yourself and thinking new thoughts. And is it possible to have the success in family life and in business and have the freedom that we want, right? The freedom to travel, the freedom to create experiences for our family. If you've been asking yourself those questions, and maybe you're asking them for the first time right now, there's an opportunity for you to come and live workshop this out with me. And I can show you what it's like to have this operating system. Does that sound interesting? Okay, cool. So here's what we're gonna do on the workshop. The first thing is, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this operating system and how it specifically can help you in your very unique situation, in your very unique business. I'm also going to help you create the ultimate CEO map, because guess what? That's what design is. Design is a plan. A map is a plan. I'm going to help you create the ultimate CEO map. When you are a CEO, entrepreneur, founder, you've got a lot of variables in your life, so many variables. And so I'm going to help you make sense of it all and line things up in a way that it makes sense, and your life and everything that you're working on and what you're experiencing and doing becomes fulfilling. This is another part of me that, I don't know, maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't, but if something's not fulfilling and meaningful to me, I'm not interested. I'm not going to do it. And so the beautiful thing about my life right now is it is set up for me to be doing the things that light me up, that I'm passionate about, that I love, that excite me, that energize me. That's something that people always say about, they notice about me, especially when they meet me in person. I love your energy. Yeah, that was not an accident. It was very intentional. And I have figured out how to create this level of excitement and energy and passion in life. And again, it's all part of the operating system. So you have to have the ultimate CEO map to help you understand how to get what you want, the things that are fulfilling, things that are exciting. I'm also going to be sharing with you how to have it all. Is that possible? Is that even possible? We're going to be discussing this. And the first step is to begin to define what all looks like for you and what you want. So we're going to be talking about that as well. This is something that I don't know if I'm ever going to do it again. If I'm honest, I don't know if I'm ever going to do it again. It's coming up soon. It's April 18th. Put this on your calendar. If you have something currently scheduled, move that thing. This is how passionately I believe in this operating system and how much it helps people. In fact, if you click the link and go to the landing page, what is it? go.katierichardson.com/workshop. You can go and see some examples of people who have worked with me and how much this has impacted their business and their life. Because look, I built a multi-million-dollar international business. I ship product to 2,000 stores in the US and in 26 different countries. My products have been featured on the Ellen DeGeneres Show, the Rachel Ray Show, the Today Show, and on the cover of Entrepreneur Magazine. So you need that significant business. I know how to do that. And you need to also be clear on the other things that are important to you in your life. Like, what is that business doing for you? What kind of life is it helping you to create? So if you want more examples of not just how this operating system has helped me, but how it has helped many of my amazing clients and what they're doing in their life to have it all, what they're doing in their life to build the business and life of their dreams, then go to go.katierichardson.com/workshop. And you can see the video. I'll tell you more about the workshop there. You'll also have a chance to opt into this workshop, sign up, grab a seat. There are limited seats because I can only hold so many people in the virtual room. So go grab your seat right now. And like I said, put the date on your calendar, move your world so that you can be there. Why? Because there's a dream inside of you. There's something that you're wanting. And the key to getting what you want is this powerful operating system, this IPOS. How do you learn it? Where do you get it? The only place you can find it is here from this amazing woman that you're listening to right now. That's me. I'm pointing to myself, Katie Richardson. Listen, I don't know why other people don't do it this way. They just don't. The other thing I want to say is there are a lot of workshops, challenges, webinars out there. And those people are very good marketers and they're very good at filling that workshop. And they're very good at telling you what you want to hear. But those people are not coaches. They're not teachers. They're not trainers. And they certainly have not lived the life that you want. So if there's anything about the life that I'm living that you say to yourself, yeah, I want that too, this might be a fit for you. Go click the link, go sign up, grab a seat. We're going to send you reminders. We'll even send you text reminders if you want. And you have a chance to come and to learn how you can collapse time, get what you want, and live free with this operating system. I can't wait to share more with you on the workshop, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Bye.